From Los Angeles, California, we're the Mad Scientist Party Hour.
Hello there, friends! And welcome back to another episode of Mad Scientist Party Hour. My name is Kevin Kraft, joined by a man who lost his pants and underwear in a tornado and is currently using his boner to open a can of beefaroni. That's Jeff Clark.
I wish the force of my boner was that strong.
And transmitting to us from the planet Pluton, the bearded extra-testicle terrestrial known as Shuddy Boy.
Yo, brah, brah.
Got another blunt there, Method Man.
Yes, sir.
Where are you getting? Are those pre-rolls, or are you doing those yourself?
No, they're blunt tubes.
Oh, so they're
Bluntitos.
an El Bluntito. So they're like pre-rolled cone-shaped, hollow, and you just stuff them full of herbal
They're
essences.
Not cone-shaped. They are blunt-shaped.
Your fucking grundle is blunt-shaped.
And then they have a flavor pellet inside the filter.
Whoa! So it's like those Camel Crushes.
So this one is yuzu and passion fruit.
Is that like Ube? Excuse me, Ube?
I know it's a Asian citrus flavor.
Which is not ube.
So how do you...
Ube is a sweet potato, correct?
Have you already popped your flavor cherry in there, Shuddy?
Yes, I just did.
Do you usually do like half and half? Or do you pop that motherfucker right at the beginning?
No, I pop it right at the beginning.
Nice.
Like last week, I smoked a watermelon. This one's yuzu and passion fruit. There's some blueberry in the other room.
Man.
I love these things. They hold a gram. This one holds a gram. So.
Man. We're truly living in the golden age of being a stoner. Doesn't get much better than this.
Yeah.
I remember
this is peak stoner life.
when I was a wee lad stoner, the coolest thought in my head was going into a store and buying a pack of joints, kind of like you just buy a pack of cigarettes. And what limited imagination I had, because they sure as fuck have those, and so much more. It's wild. But of course now I'm a fucking bitch and I can't even handle weed. Timing
You
worked
weren't
out.
able to get back on it? Like,
No, I have. I've been partaking again. It's not
Nice.
every day, and it's always like late at night, except for on April 20th when I was a fucking cool kid getting high on look at the time, it's 4:20 on 4:20. Whoa. But yeah, wow, can you hear Lucy the Destroyer flipping out?
No.
Because it was
No.
making it through. I mean,
Is
shit.
the mailman there?
If Zoom doesn't let you guys hear the opening theme song, it's sure as hell not going to let you hear Lucy. I don't know what I was thinking. Shuddy, you went to a Marilyn Manson concert.
Yes, I did.
And I saw some of the pictures online. You went with a huge crew of like the Bethlehem gang.
We did.
And I remember you telling us you were planning on getting shit-faced. How did that go?
Did you wait? Hold on. Did you call yourself the beautiful people?
I didn't. He didn't play the. I got shit faced.
You beautiful people. You beautiful people. Ah!
That's the only Marilyn Manson song I know.
Straight up, I got destroyed.
How quickly into the night's festivities? Did you black out? Did you black out at all?
No, I remember it for the most part. I did end up puking before bed.
Nice.
So while we Ubered to and from. Uh so before the Uber arrived, I smoked a bong load rapid fire.
Okay.
I pounded a hard seltzer, and then in the Uber I ate a gummy.
Wow. Fucking crossing the streams.
Then at when we got to the casino, we all met up at a bar. I had a hard cotton candy lemonade,
Wow.
a shot that ended up being like two shots, a beer, then smoked a joint,
My God, Shuddy.
had a 25 milligram gummy, then a 24-ounce Miller Lite, two Jack and Cokes, another joint, and then wrapped the night up at the casino with a double Southern Comfort and Sprite.
Shuddy Boy, you were a middle-aged man. How did you do all that?
I have no idea. And then got home, pounded water, ate a frozen pizza, and then puked.
Well, at least you ended on a high note.
That's a fucking throwback performance right there.
It really was. And then I woke up Thursday and wasn't hungover somehow.
I would have been nervous about working an oven that fucked up. Did you stand upright the whole time? Like, were you smoking something to stay awake or maybe set an
So,
alarm? Actually, that wouldn't have been good enough.
no, I had a responsible adult with me.
Ah, huge. Was it a adult you were once responsible for?
Yes, it was. Draven was very much in control of the evening.
Nice.
Like I burned through the last of my cash in the slot machines, and I was like, Draven, I'm gonna go to the ATM so we can stay. He said, no, no, I think it's time for us. We should probably go home now. And like kind of shooed me towards the exit of the casino instead of letting me go to the ATM wasted.
Son,
You
you're in the
didn't.
driver's seat. Dad's getting white girl wasted.
Oh, the casino. He'd probably save you a lot of money. The casino ATM charges are vicious.
Oh, and I burned through $80 in the slot machine in like 10 minutes, and I was like, let's just see what happens and keep going. And he's like, no, 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 no.
Oh,
You
Drew,
obviously
I have executive money now. Let's go.
All right, we're going to the fucking kitty bar now. Dad, you might want to think about tomorrow.
so it was I mean,
I
for
love
almost
Baby
60
Thunder.
years old, he puts on a hell of a show. Uh he did very blatantly reference the attempted cancellation of him and how it failed. Uh
Yeah, that might be one of those things he doesn't want to draw any further attention to.
He's like, they tried to take you away from me, but they failed. Like it was, but I was fucking destroyed. Uh, um, and that's why I texted you guys about how great of videos the iPhone 16 takes, because while I was filming, you could see that I was swaying. Like, but then when you replay them, they're level. There's no swaying whatsoever.
Yeah, they have like a built-in drunk-proof gimbal or something.
Yeah, it was incredible.
Man. Well, so you did the entire concert and then went to a casino afterwards?
So the concert was at the casino.
Oh, okay.
So it was at the event center at the casino. So they're attached.
Then Marilyn Manson's just losing all of the night's earnings sitting at a Willy Wonka fucking slot machine,
Could be.
looking all sad and shit.
It was fucking packed. It was packed.
I bet.
It was a really good show though. I had a lot of fun. Huge squad. Good time.
My son took care of my drunk ass, stumbling all over the place.
Listen, he wasn't all that so he drank just as much as I did. He just did not he's younger, one, two, and he did not partake in all of the marijuana. So
Well, there
he
you go.
was more sober than me, but he also it's not like Draven had to stay sober to take care of his fucking mess of a father. I only started drinking Jack and Cokes because he suggested it. So it wasn't like we walked up to the bar and I went to order us more 24-ounce Miller Lights and he's like, let's do a dope show because they had mixed drinks named after Marilyn Manson
Oh, I
songs.
think I saw that. Did Dominic post those?
He probably did. He probably did because I ordered it without reading. And then the bartender starts mixing two Jack and Cokes in front of me. And I was like, what the fuck is that? And then I read the sign and I was like, oh. But no, I was at the level of fucked up that I thought Jack and Coke was the most delicious beverage I could be drinking at the moment.
Oh my god, dude.
And
Dude,
that's where I know I'm drunk. Like if whiskey of any kind is tasting good, I'm at the point where I'm a couple decisions away from something bad happening.
Oh,
Uh
it's a shame that didn't happen.
But Draven and the Uber driver on the way home got treated to Shuddy Boy Knows the Words.
Oh God. Oi, oi, oi.
No, Dire Straits, Money for Nothing, New Kids on the Block, Step by Step.
Oh God, that must have been a
your
fun Uber.
wheelhouse.
Have you
I
checked
don't
your
remember.
your Uber ranking since then? Hey, Uber guy, get your money for nothing and your chicks for free.
If I remember correctly, the Uber guy was laughing when I got out of the car. He enjoyed having us as passengers. Let's see.
Oh, I'm sure he did.
Where do
He must have been very charming.
I've got a 5-star rating.
What?
There it is. The Uber driver has spoken, Kevin, in your fucking face.
Well, who
Shuddy
knows?
was
He
Or
could
he
have.
hasn't rated me. Or he has not rated me. I know I gave him 5 stars and a healthy tip.
well, there you go.
Shit,
Sure,
I opened up my Uber to see what my ratings were, and I realized I forgot to fucking rate and tip the guy that took us to the airport in fucking Austin. Whoops. Ooh, I have a 4.86.
oh, wow. Hold on. Let me see what my
I think
Uber score is.
one of the things that probably tanked my rating was that one time when we were all out drinking in Long Beach and Bill got in a fight with that Uber driver.
I don't remember that.
We got fucking
I got a 4 point.
kicked out in the middle of the street.
I got a. What a dick. I got a 4.79.
Ooh,
That's
you got,
totally how I got. Oh, wait. No, that doesn't
you
make
got the
sense.
worst
I was
of the
gonna blame
group.
mine on Bill. Oh, no one's surprised.
I want to know what is because I never. Maybe that could be part of it because I don't like to talk to the Uber drivers. So I wonder if they're just like, huh, this guy wasn't really engaging with me that much. I give him 3 stars or something. Or if you slam the car door too hard accidentally, do they nuke you for that?
Yeah, I'm trying to see
That
where.
seems like something they would nuke you for.
No, that's a white person thing.
Slamming the car door?
Yeah, I noticed this in college. One of my buddies pointed this out. Why do white people always slam the car door? And I thought it was kind of ridiculous. Then I've actually noticed it. We do it. I think it's by accident.
I feel like I have
like
2 door closing speeds. It doesn't shut or it slams. I can't find that fucking middle ground.
There's no the sweet spot is impossible to find on a door close.
Yeah.
and every white person agrees with you, and every black person disagrees. I don't know. It's like a thing.
But outside of like the incident with Bill, and I was like, man, you motherfucker, you know this is on my Uber account, right? I called this Uber, and you got us kicked out of the car.
Yeah, I don't remember this.
It was like the ultimate in-person troll job. Just eviscerated this woman to the point where she just like slammed on the brakes in the middle of the street and threw us out.
My buddy in college used to get into like just would be a drunken asshole to a cab driver. I don't know. Like once every other cab ride we took. He was actually kind of like he was just like a chippy drunk. If you met him sober, nicest fucking guy ever, seems totally normal, and then just gets like 5 beers in him, and it's I don't know, just
Cranky.
got like weird and angry. And he was like he was a shorter dude, so it's kind of had like Scrappy Doo syndrome, or maybe a Napoleon complex, as the
Okay.
smarter fellows would call it.
I like the first one better. I like Scrappy Doo.
Me too. As do I.
Yeah, I like Scrappy Doo. He's had some Scrappy Doo in him, but like, dude, he would fucking get so angry at cab drivers for whatever reason in New York City, and I'd actually have to be like, dude, just chill. Like, this is fine. We're good here. Just chill.
This guy did not just insult your mom. I don't know what you're hearing, but you got to let it
It's
go.
like, dude, we're wasted. You don't know the better way to get to the Upper East Side. You don't. Just let him do it.
It's his job.
Yeah, like, dude, you've never driven in Manhattan before in your life. Just let this guy handle it.
I don't think I've ever had a bad incident with a cab driver. I think I just got a little friskier than I should have with a gal in the back seat.
Because of my friend, I didn't have a good incident with a cab driver for like 4 years in college.
The only issue I've had in a cab is I was out drinking with a girl once. We went to Philly for the night, and this was back in the serious partying days where I could drink. And she went drink for drink with me and ended up puking in the cab just before we got back to the hotel, which made the cab driver very irate and very angry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Man.
And that was my fear. I was afraid I was going to puke in the Uber, but I didn't. Thankfully.
I'm a puker, and I've never puked in a buddy's car, my car, taxi, or Uber.
I've had to puke out a window.
Didn't we talk about this? Didn't you do it in like winter and it got frozen to the side of the car?
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I remember that story.
Yeah, it was when I was doing construction, and I had to carry my date, who will remain nameless, Shuddy, because I know you like to just burst out. I know who that was. It was this person. I had to carry her out to the car.
10 girls ago.
And then, oh yeah, this was like 20 years ago at this point. But once the car started moving, I then became the most fucked up one and was puking out the window of my uncle's pickup truck to the point where we were going down the Garden State Parkway and I was standing on the passenger seat. Like 80% of my body was outside of the car. I don't know how I didn't fall out, get sucked out, but I was barfing. Chunks of it were blowing back in and like hitting my cousins in the face who were sitting in the back seat. And then by the time we got back, the bed of the pickup truck was just full of frozen puke. It was terrible.
I don't even want to tell you guys how many times I drove myself home puking out the driver's side window of the car.
Oh my God, Shuddy.
Back then.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
I feel like I think I one time pissed out of the window of Dom's car back in those days.
That does not sound out of character.
Yeah.
I'm with Shuddy though. I can't even have the conversation here about how good of a drunk driver I was. It was not cool.
By the way, I don't know if you guys saw, but John Cooper won another award this weekend.
I did see that on your MSPH or on your Instagram story.
Yeah, this was
Dude,
one.
Congrats.
Where I was kind of looking at it like, I hope I can just get another set of laurels from this festival. But, being that it's a comedy and a lowbrow one, it tends to do better at straight-up comedy film festivals. And this was an all-genres one. And I was like looking at some of the past winners. And that movie Missing, which came out like a year or two ago, it was one of those ones where, it's like the second in one that like John Cho was in, and it's kind of like found footage, except everything you're watching is like through a screen, So there's no actual like straight up shots of people. You're watching like YouTube clips or FaceTime calls and emails being typed. I forget what the first one was called, but this one was called Missing. Like Carl and I went and saw it in the theater, and I was just like, I wonder what some of the other years have like looked like. And then I saw that won like best score at this festival, and I was like, holy shit, there's like real like studio movies in these. So to get like the highest award of the festival was pretty fucking that was very unexpected. I did not expect that to happen. I was very, very pumped about it. I even looked at, because they kind of do like tiers. So the Diamond Award is like essentially first place, and then they kind of have two more tiers, which is like, silver and bronze. And one of the other movies that won like the lower tier best feature looked like Oscar bait. Like, drama, checking all the boxes. I looked at the IMDb page for it, and it's won over 100 awards. And I was like, no fucking way. What a good day for dick jokes. We beat the artsy fartsy shit. Fucking sick. So, just wanted to give a shout out to all the people that worked on John Cooper, because that's a fucking cool win.
That's a huge win.
That's a really cool win. So I'm stoked about that.
And the offers are flowing in, yes?
You'd think, Shudster, right? You'd think. But goddamn it, I don't know what the fuck I have to do.
You need to write to our president and tell him to do whatever he's going to do with the film industry to get your fucking movie purchased.
Yeah, can he sign like an executive order that someone has to buy John Cooper?
Yeah, you have an all-American made film.
Oh, dude. That shit is not working in my favor. I can tell you that easily.
Yeah, the Chinese audience doesn't want an all-American made film. Some barred for Chinese.
Well, that, and like, obviously if you make something more expensive, so if you're like, hey, and also like tariffs can only be put on physical goods, so everybody in the industry is like, what the fuck does this even mean? So when people are already scrambling, and then you throw that shit in there, it couldn't have come at a worse time. That is probably 99% going to make it way harder to sell this movie now, because if you're doing something that's going to cost the fat cats money, all that shit trickles down. The only thing that trickles down to, the poorsies like us are fucking consequences. So hopefully that shit gets axed, because that is not going to help me at all. But, hey, you never know.
Like you need another reason, am I right?
But, yeah, I mean, it's good news, and any award looks fucking good on paper. So, I've got this guy that's been helping me out, try to sell the movie. We've been talking to distributors. It seems like one company's interested. So we'll see. Hopefully this sweetens the pot to people we talk to in the future.
So then if any award looks good on paper, why don't we just create an award for best movie in the world and slap that on it?
I don't know. Kind of the same reason it doesn't really work if I slap myself with the fattest cock award. If I'm the one saying it kind of loses all merit.
Let's Frank Abagnale the Palme d'Or on that fucking thing.
Frank Flabengale.
You know what I'm talking about?
No.
You gonna get that reference? Catch Me If You Can, Leonardo DiCaprio's character.
Oh, fuck! I got to rewatch that.
I recently watched that movie. That's why it was so fresh. Although it is a Clark classic, one of my favorite movies ever.
It is a great
I've
film.
seen it a bunch of times.
I've only seen it once, believe it or not.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I got to watch that again.
Okay, yeah, because I definitely want to hear your adjusted or updated score.
That's one that
Did you score it in Letterboxd, or do you remember what you thought of it?
I don't believe I did. I'm sure it's before I started using the old D. It's Spielberg, right?
Yeah, dude. One of the better
2002.
Spielberg movies. I think that came out after Saving Private Ryan. I think it's probably his best one. I'm probably missing one, but I think it's his best one since Saving Private Ryan.
Yeah. I definitely got to give that a rewatch. I did catch something new, though.
Nice.
I don't know if you guys had a chance to go to the theatre. Shuddy, you probably burned your
No.
outing
I
with
did not
Marilyn
know.
Manson.
Correct.
So I saw one that I don't even know is on you guys' radar. But I went and saw this movie called Clown in a Cornfield.
Nope.
My brothers are going tomorrow. I fly to Virginia Wednesday. I got a bunch of sports stuff to do. So I'm sitting this Tuesday movie out. Bill hinted that it might not be a Jeff Clark movie.
It might not be, but if you like slashers, this was a solid one. And I kept fucking because, like, you know, Carl has no interest. She likes some horror movies, but if it's like I think she might like the ghostier stuff more than like the gory splattery shit. So a lot of times I'm left seeing those solo. And I tried pitching it to her, and I did that word swap thing when you're half thinking and you go to talk, and I called it corn in a clown field. And she was like, "What the fuck's a clown?"
Shrimp?
Yeah, I pulled a Shried Frimp. She was like, "What the fuck's a clown field?" I'm like, "Wait, what did I just... Oh, shit!" Like, and I know if I had to buy my ticket through the box office, I would have done the same thing. I had to pause when I just said it right now because I was like, "Don't say fucking corn in a clown field." But it was kind of cool.
That's how I say Knickerbocker.
Shout out to the Easter egg. I was talking to our friend Bonnie because she's an avid moviegoer and loves horror shit too, and she actually read the book. Like, this is like I think there's a trilogy of books that this is based on, and I mean, she loved the book so much she told me she read it in one day, in which I don't even think I could finish fucking Cat in the Hat in one day.
How long was the book?
I don't know. If a doctor gives me a fucking pamphlet to read, I'm like, all right, I'll get back to you in a fucking week, lady. I don't know.
Do you have any interest in reading the book, though?
I kind of do. It actually has been a while since I've read a fiction book, and being that I have the reading comprehension skills and speed of an 8th grader, it's every time I do really enjoy reading, which I know is kind of a shocking thing for me to say, but to actually commit to like starting a book and finishing it, it's like, all right, this is 3 months. And that's not me exaggerating. It takes me so fucking long. It's embarrassing. But hey, if you make a book into a movie, I watch movies at a high school senior level speed. So that's nice. Yeah. I'm kind of good at that.
A 1.25 speed.
I went and saw it at the Alamo Draft House, which is kind of a bitch to get to from Culver City, but it's so nice. Dude, all right, I'm fucking going off on a million tangents here, but when they did this recent movie theater upgrade where pretty much everything got replaced with leather recliners that are, you know, button controlled, big comfy seats, but I like the way they have it at Alamo and most of the theaters and AMC's now. It's fucking glorious. I love seeing movies in those big comfy seats that go back, but I feel like that rehaul happened too long ago at this point, and they're all fucked now. Like the leather seats at Alamo's are all the leather is completely worn off of them. It's just like a weird thin netting, and the seats all fucking creak. Do you remember when we were in Austin and when we were watching John Cooper, and we started reclining our seats when the movie started playing, and it just went like, and it ripped like a 60-second fart when you put your seat back.
Yeah.
And since we're such 5-year-olds, we were like wheeze laughing at it.
Yeah.
And then Caesar, sitting on the other side of me, he put his back, and his did a 90-second like high-pitched one. And then I was like, all right, well, let's see if mine does it. The three of us, I mean, at least I had fucking tears streaming down my face because of the fart noises. I've noticed every theater does that now. Every seat, when you recline the leather thingies, they fart, and they're all just getting thrashed. So I feel like Nicole Kidman needs to use some of her AMC money and put it back into the organization so they can reupholster all their seats. And also give a little to Alamo so they can do it too. But anyway, Alamo, best popcorn of any theater I've ever gone to. It's probably terrible for my heart and arteries because it's like dripping with butter, but it's fucking delicious. It comes out and the popcorn is still hot. And then like I ordered wings too. You would have been proud of me, Jeff.
Yeah, I love chicken wings. I'm gonna eat some tonight. Wingstop, baby.
I like fried chicken.
I mean, I've never gotten them there before, and somebody else was eating them, and they smelled nice. I think I've gotten the chicken fingers before, but I was like, the true test is the wings. I was like, I'm going to get a half dozen wings. Whoops. I didn't mean that Mario sound. And then, my shit's covered with slime. My fingers are covered with slime, so I was like, you know what, I'll just pour some of my water out into these napkins. And it was so dark, I couldn't see what I was doing, and I dumped half of my cup of ice water all over my ass in, I would say, the first 7 minutes of the movie. So for majority of the movie, I had a cold, wet ass, and that did not stop my enjoyment of Clown in a Cornfield. I feel like it had a fun little twist in there. I won't give too much away, but I'll say it's kind of like pairing a slasher with a certain Edgar Wright movie. And I'll just leave it there. It'll make sense if you go and see it. But it was cool. It had some good kills. It had a cast of youngsters that I've never seen before, and I think they did a great job. And, it was kind of like a throwback a little bit to the classic slashers. And it was a fucking good time. If you're a horror fan like myself, I can't see you not enjoying it. I think it was, I'll give it a fair 3.75 dicks. I'd watch it again, and the couple that I was riding the elevator with after the movie, who clearly just came from seeing it, one of them had read the books and was talking about how they definitely could make, a couple more movies. And I'm hoping they do, so I can fuck it up and call it Corn in a Clown Field 2 when the time comes. But horror fans, I think you're going to dig it. I think it's worth checking out. I gave it my mushroom stamp of approval.
Happy mushroom stamp that one.
Oh my God. Okay, so this kind of spilled over from Patreon, but when we did the Patreon show last week, I was talking about how, poor Lucy the Destroyer and myself both had some medical appointments. And Lucy, poor little girl, had to get 13 of her teeth pulled.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
How many more does she have left?
Somehow a lot. Like the people were telling Carl, they're like, good news, we don't have to take that many out. It's only 13. And it's like, you realize she's a Yorkie and not a fucking shark, right? How many teeth do you think she has? But I've never counted, and they said it wouldn't really affect her day to day with the amount of teeth that she's not going to have for the rest of her life. But I also had to go and do my first dental visit in years. And most of that is because the place that I went to for over a decade stopped taking my insurance. So I go to this place with my janky ass bitch ass insurance, and holy shit, I am lucky to have survived.
Whoa, what does that mean?
This place. So I know, Jeff, you think going to the doctor and the dentist is for wusses. But you know how, when you go to the dentist for a checkup or a cleaning or something, they take you into a room and they put you in one of them chairs and then they poke around in your mouth and shit. So I go in there. The nurse is like, all right, we're going to start out with doing some x-rays. She could not figure out the x-ray thing. So she blasted, I think, a dozen pictures of the same spot, and she kept getting frustrated and hitting the computer And then she would leave the room, hit the button, take another picture, come back in and be like, ugh! Hit the computer. Obviously something was fucked up, but she kept shooting radiation into my face because she was hiding behind the lead wall for every one of them. I'm like, can you just please make sure you got it exactly how you want it before you keep fucking loading me up? I know I'm not going to turn into the Hulk from overexposure. I'm going to turn into that weird fucking bag of slime from RoboCop that gets popped like a balloon. So after she like bashes me in the face with that thing you have to bite on, that little circle thing, you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
And they like hold the machine up to it, up to the circle.
Yeah, so they can get a good X-ray of your chompers.
Yeah, she kept making me bite it, and then she was so haphazardly fucking throwing things around. She kept like hitting it, and it was cutting the roof of my mouth and shit. And then she sits me at a table. Hold on, I gotta. While I'm talking, I have to email this to myself. So she sits me at this table. They don't have individual rooms. It was a hallway full of dentist chairs. And this place was not clean. It was fucking nasty. The thing that I was sitting on, like where your feet go, was covered in like dirt and mud. There was fucking dirt all over all the equipment. And a fucking pube! There was a pube!
How do you know it was a pube?
Well, I'm emailing
You know a
myself right
pube
now.
when you see one, huh?
I've seen a pube or two in my life. Hold on a second. Shuddy, can I have screen share permission?
You may.
Hold on, I gotta email this to myself. Download this motherfucker. Okay. All right. One moment.
Permission granted.
Enhancing. Here we go. All right, let me zoom in ahead of time. Okay, here we go. Get ready, gents. And people of YouTube. Can you see this?
Yes.
What does that look like to you?
A pube.
I don't know. It could just be a single hair.
It's enough of a hair that it shouldn't be there.
Like, I don't know when the last time they fucking wiped all this.
You?
I don't like. When was the last time they wiped any of this shit down? There's fucking gunk built up everywhere. The paint's chipping. There's fucking goo.
Remind us, you had to switch dental providers, right? Because the old one didn't take your insurance, or was that just the doctor? Yeah,
they didn't take my insurance anymore. So
okay.
I found a local place that does take it, and all that's like, you know, I wouldn't be in any club that'll have me as a member. Like if there's a dentist that takes my insurance, they are fucked, and they probably need to have their medical license taken away. And I'm sitting there in this chair in an open hallway with all these other people looking like a fucking Saw movie, and this woman behind me is losing her shit. I don't know if she was mentally impaired, or I think she was an older lady, so I don't know if maybe she lost her marbles. And she had somebody with her who was like a handler or family member, and she kept screaming, "Don't make me cry today. Don't make me cry today." So this woman is screaming that at the top of her lungs. I'm staring at this fucking pube, and it is taking so goddamn long. Guy finally comes over to me. I open my mouth. He looks in there. He barely looks at anything, and then he's like, "Oh, you need braces." And I'm like, "Well, I'm not here for that. I'm here for a cleaning. I can't afford braces, so let's just skip that." And he goes, "Okay." And he walks away. 40 minutes later, a dental assistant or some shit comes over, and she takes me to a different chair in this hallway of horrors and essentially brushes my teeth. You know that dental tool that like spins in circles, and they have their tiny little cup of like real gritty, sandy, fucking fancy dentist toothpaste?
Yeah. Well, the tool that spins, is that an electric toothbrush by chance?
Kind of. It was like
okay.
It just spins like a saw blade instead of like jiggling back and forth. Yeah, they've been using that shit even when I was a little kid.
Right. Yeah, I think you're saying an electric toothbrush, but okay.
It's like one of their fancy power tool ones. It's way cooler than any of the electric toothbrushes we have access to.
I gotcha. Yeah.
So she essentially just brushes my teeth with that shit. And then she's like, all right, you're done. And I was like, well, wait a second. You're not going to scrape my teeth or anything with those fucking tools? She's like, no, the dentist said you didn't need it.
You need braces. That's it.
I was like, but
That's good.
How does he know? Like, he didn't scrape my... Like, when you go in for a cleaning, they clean the shit out. Like, every time I go in, they like, floss. They use the dental tools to, like, scrape a whole bunch of shit off. This lady brushed my teeth and then took, like, a little thing of whiteout looking shit and painted my teeth. Help. And then sent me on my way. And then she was like... I was like, so, do I have any cavities? And she was like, no. And I'm like... I feel like every time I've gone to the dentist and I've had a cavity, they poke around in your mouth and inspect it to, like, check. And, like, they have those little, I know what you did last summer, hooks. And they fucking, they stab it. And if it sticks, you have a cavity. A dentist told me that once. They didn't do any of that stuff. She fucking brushed my teeth. I did that before I came there. So they essentially just gave me fucking head radiation poisoning, made me stare at a pube while some poor old woman lost her shit, and then brushed my fucking teeth and slapped me on the ass. She had the nerve to be like, all right, so let's get you scheduled for your 6-month appointment. And I was like, oh, no. That will not be happening.
Did you tell you told them that?
Yeah. I was like, no,
Did
I'm
you
going to
break
go home.
up with them?
I broke up with them.
Did they ask you to, like, fill out a survey, or did they ask any more questions about, like, oh, what went wrong?
What did it for you? Was it the pube?
I told them to get rid of that pube.
Was it the sounds of an insane asylum that make you not want to come back? Was it us just brushing your teeth for you during a deep cleaning? What went wrong? All the above. Yeah, so I got the fuck out of there, but yeah, I could not believe that they had me stare at a pube for like a fucking hour, sitting in a hallway of horrors. God damn it. I really wish I was a successful
you can't do anything,
person,
right?
so I could get real insurance. But I've been deemed unworthy. I am not worthy of good medical care, and that's fine.
I mean, if anything, can make all this go by a little quicker.
Yeah, it'll just get me to the finish line quicker.
Yeah. I wish I could help you, buddy. Unfortunately, I can't.
Well, I mean, were you being
John Cena right now?
Were you being serious when you said you stopped taking your blood pressure medication?
Yeah, someone got on me about that on Patreon. I was serious, but it wasn't so much like I didn't want to. I don't want to take the medication. It's more that I put it in my bathroom cabinet and just completely forgot about it. So I think I'm going to start doing that again. I think I'm going to start taking the medication because good old George, not happy about that.
Oh, I bet.
Women, you know, they really want you to be healthy.
Always wanting us to not die and shit.
Fucking pussy. Don't worry about my heart medication. Just go fix me a sandwich.
Look at me. I'm the fucking picture of health. Now, where's my fried chicken?
Don't worry about my blood pressure. Go to Wingstop.
It's chicken.
They have
it's fried chicken.
It's Monday. They have 50-cent boneless wings. All right. Enough of this blood pressure talk.
I like fried chicken.
I got kind of a random question for you guys.
Oh. Is it?
It's not so random because I wrote it down, and it is a little topical.
Is it a brain question?
Kind of. Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time for today's random brain question.
So I have no tattoos, so I can't really weigh in on tattoo culture, but you guys do.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's a couple football players, one of which is on the defending Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles, stud defensive tackle Jalen Carter. who have recently undergone anesthesia to get a big tattoo. How does tattoo culture feel about that? I thought that was bitch shit.
Kind of is. It's, you know what it is?
Right?
It's like rich princess shit.
Yeah.
Like,
do you know what I'm talking about, Shuddy? You know, Jalen Carter got like, what's the tattoo he got?
I don't know. It's fucking massive though, and it's like all his whole chest, isn't it? Or is it his back? But I don't.
It was apocalypse themed. Hold on.
From X-Men?
No. Just the apocalypse.
The Rapture.
Yeah. Maybe the Book of Revelations. Hold on, I'm pulling up an article on it.
I mean, I even like some places do numbing cream now, and even that has me like, what the fuck? And then I realize I am sounding like a fucking cranky old man. It's like, no, tattoos should hurt like they did in my day. And it's like, well, I mean, you have to be playing for the NFL if you can afford to be fucking put under anesthesia for a tattoo. Like, that alone is expensive. I mean, just trying to get health insurance to cover that for procedures is a fight. So you know that is pricey.
Yeah, it's apocalypse themed. It's got an angel, eagle, gorilla, and lion.
It's one man versus 100 gorillas.
Yeah, if I would take 100 Jalen Carters versus one gorilla. That motherfucker is a big man.
What about instead of fighting a gorilla? What if it's 100 Jalen Skloppers trying to
Carter? That's a normal name, Carter.
Jalen, it's not that.
I forgot it. All right, 100 Jalen Carters trying to blow a gorilla. So they don't have to beat it up; they just have to subdue it and suck its dick.
I saw some social media. I think Ginger sent me a social media video about one guy. They were talking about a group of friends. Well, it was actually one guy playing a bunch of different roles in the Instagram video, but he was saying, "Yeah, I'll suck the gorilla's dick to try to distract him." It's like, well, how does that even look? What are you talking about?
Oh man, somebody already made that joke. All right,
yeah.
Strike that from the record. Yeah. I'll remove that in post.
This guy, Jalen Carter, 6'3", 315 pounds.
Wow.
Like 100 of them. It's going to be tough for a gorilla.
I don't want that guy punching me in the face. I bet that would hurt.
No, dude. His nickname is Baby Rhino.
Holy shit.
Yeah. He is a fucking freak. But one of my baristas at my coffee shop on the corner is going to school to become a tattoo artist, and I asked him about this as well. He's like, yeah, part of the thing is like, I don't know, talking to your tattoo artist and like having that conversation, building that kind of camaraderie, and part of it is like the pain and like going through it and making it like that's part of like a tattoo's worth or just the experience.
Yeah,
I don't know. I felt like that's like getting a full body tattoo or a huge tattoo and going under anesthesia to do so. That's like saying that you've been to the top of Mount Everest, but like a helicopter dropped you off there.
Yeah,
it's like, does it count? Does that count?
Although, I mean, if you're just like, hey, this is going to be gnarly, let me just fast forward to the end. One of the worst parts about getting a tattoo is the fucking aftercare. Especially
you're not dodging that.
No. And that is horrible. It like your skin gets all tight, especially if you're get knocked out so you can get an enormous chest piece. I don't have any tattoos on my chest just cuz, I got my saggy little witch tits that I don't want to draw any more attention to. But I've heard it is a very, very painful spot to get tattooed. And when a spot sucks for a tattoo, the healing process also sucks. Like I have my whole side of my rib cage, and that was horrendous. I hated that. And the healing process sucked. You got to deal with when it peels up and putting the ointment on it and it's fucking sore and Like I've gotten tattoos before where the edges, like all around it, get like bruised. So you're not really dodging as many bullets as you think you are. You just kind of look like a wiener, like getting gassed and knocked out. So your tattoo doesn't hoit.
Yeah, kind of
Poor
a
baby.
bitch.
Poor baby.
Something you wouldn't think a football player would do.
Yeah.
I don't know. I just thought it was interesting. I wanted your guys' feedback on that one.
Well, I saw regular listeners will know that the topic of aliens is very close to Jeff Clark and Jeff's heart. And another
Should
guy
be
came
everyone's.
out, dropping more truth bombs about fucking aliens and shit.
Yeah,
Sent an
dude.
article today.
Story that broke over the weekend, but I only saw it when the Outkick alien writer did an article about it today. But apparently, an ex-NASA official testified or I don't know, came out publicly and stated that he actually saw a saucer, or he saw security footage of a saucer hanging inside one of the U.S. government's hangars. I'm pulling up the article right now. Like Cape Canaveral hangar, he saw a flying saucer, and he said he kept quiet over about it over the last 3 decades, but decided to come forward after his recent retirement from the Department of Defense. I mean, Kevin, I know you're still waiting for like the I don't know, for like the big piece of like irrefutable evidence.
Yeah,
does this character witness, does this move you any closer to believing in that the government has saucers or aliens?
It does, but it's also like, and it all seems like it's been going on for so long. Like, so many people have come forth. I kind of forgot to keep track of that documentary, but there was some big documentary that was supposed to premiere at South by, I think, and they were like, this is the biggest thing that's ever happened as far as conclusive evidence and testimony on alien life. And it's like, okay, but if we've been interacting with them, if we have these supposed treaties with them, we have their fucking spaceships, we've had them for a while. Like, Jeff, as somebody this is such a huge topic for, aren't you sufficiently fluffed? Like, at what point do you get to nut?
I think he just likes to keep edging.
I know. Well, I was gonna say I nutted when I was like 8.
And it was on a turd.
Yeah,
like
I've believed in aliens and the U.S. government knowing about aliens and having some sort of involvement with extraterrestrials for years.
It's just like, okay, well, what does it mean? Like, what is the next step? Is like the reason we have iPhones? Because we've been studying their shit and we reverse engineered it and found some cool shortcuts? Like, do we have the capability to do some cool interstellar type travel? Like, get us to that. It's cool that everybody's saying it, but get me to that next step. Just like, I feel like we're all primed. There have been so many hearings. Everybody's fucking ready. I think we can handle it. Just bring a fucking alien out. Bring him up. Have him guest on Maury Povich or some shit. Interview him. Like, I want to see. Damn it, I want to see.
I think the biggest challenge right now is the government having to like answer for lying for, I don't know if this is true, 30 years.
Oh yeah, we don't want to have a lie tarnishing the government's reputation.
Yeah, I mean, when you put it that way, it's fucking ridiculous. So I'm just saying, like, I don't know, maybe to your point, like the public for the most part would be able to hear this and not freak the fuck out. But then the government doesn't want to have the answer for the decades of lying or being like, yeah, we know, we told you one thing and the opposite was actually true.
I feel like it's a perfect patsy. every time something comes out that like Trump doesn't like just fucking, oh, the Arabs are giving me a $500 million flying luxury jet. Oh, hey, by the way, here's a video of a fucking alien. Like, have the press secretary just wheel out an alien. What a perfect way to reset the news cycle and get everybody fucking distracted. Give us an alien.
Yeah.
Come on.
But like whenever they pull out the alien, something domestically seriously fucked up.
Yeah, we're
no.
in deep trouble.
Like there's a new coming.
Like at least call a press conference and shoot a fucking ray gun. Give me that. Show me what a ray gun looks like.
Yeah, they might not have that. We gotta get fucking Sprance. I want him to respond to this article.
Oh yeah, the ultimate alien skeptic, Rob Sprance.
Yeah, dude, he just doesn't believe it.
You know what I would settle for?
And he got that fucker Neil deGrasse Tyson onto his podcast.
That's
the
true.
Glory Hole or the Hole to pretty much back that up.
You know what I would take right now? I'm so desperate. Even if the government was like, hey, remember when you were a kid and in the back of comic books they had those like goofy things you could order and they were like X-ray specs, but you ordered them and they didn't work? All right, using alien technology, we reverse engineered and we now have real X-ray specs. I'd be like, cool. That's fucking sick. Good job, government. Thank you, aliens. Just, I feel like we're primed. We've been fluffed. We've been edged. And we as a society are ready to bust an alien nut.
Yeah, dude. I've edged long enough on these ETs.
Let's just collectively finish together as a nation. Wouldn't that be a great unifying experience?
Yeah. We're close, though. We are close to the last piece of evidence we need to see for everyone to believe.
It seems like it's been that way for a while. I'm ready. Who knows? Maybe when this documentary comes out, whatever the South by Southwest thingy is. Well, I mean, on a similar note, have you guys seen the video of the robot in China?
Yeah.
Shuddy, watch this. So it's like some sort of garage or something, some robot hangar where these idiots are actively working on our destruction. They activate this robot. Look at him! He's like me in fucking Taekwondo class when I was 7.
This robot thinks it's fighting for its life. And what do you do? Can you shoot it? Oh, all right.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know what happened, if they hit the kill switch or something, but this is just like an iRobot looking robot hanging on a hook. It becomes sentient and immediately just karate chops, double karate chop all over the fucking place. This is evidence of our future downfall. That is the fate we all face. We are all going to have our heads karate chopped off by that ninja bot. Oops, hold on. Stop sharing, please. You have shared too much. Stop. Yeah, I mean, what are your thoughts on that, Shuddy Boy?
Well, was it an AI robot or was it just basically like one of those iDogs that just went wild when it was turned on and that there's no real ramifications?
China's Unitree H1 humanoid robot suddenly started moving wildly during a demo. I would say throwing vicious karate chops. It's almost like it was brought into existence and met with immediate horror. I mean,
I feel like Shuddy's next big move in the acai world is to switch out the human labor with automation.
No.
I say we charge the robots 25 cents extra for spoons. You got to bring your own bag if you're doing takeout, and robots replace the humans.
Shuddy, That's not a bad idea. And if you use it, I just want to get a cut. I want to taste.
We'll
Or at
see what we
least-
can do.
Yeah, let me get at least one acai bowl a week.
That I can. Well, how are you going to do that in California? You want me to ship it on dry ice? Yes?
No, I think if you become the first acai company to go full automation, you'll be able to branch out here to California and just give you like one of those. I guess every Major League Baseball player, Kevin, gets a gold card if they play at least 8 years in the major leagues, and they can go to any game for free. They get like 3 or 4 tickets. They just show up with their gold card. That's what I wanted.
Well, yeah, because if you play 8 years,
acai bowl.
If you're playing
just a gold card.
If you're playing MLB for 8 years, you definitely need all the financial help you can get.
No, I mean, it's just a cool little perk. Every athletic sports professional league union has something like that.
If you take the sports out of it, if you could get one gold card for a particular business, what would it be?
As of right now, I would say Wingstop. I love Wingstop so much. I mean, there has to be some sort of like filters on that or qualifications, right? Because of course, if I can get a gold card for a Lamborghini, like I can just re-up a Lamborghini, like yeah, I would do that. But I'm saying like what's within reason, because these are only a gold card for regular season baseball games, and like you can go to some regular season baseball games for like fucking $8, dude.
Really?
Yeah.
Is that for like a middle America team that nobody cares about?
Yeah, like you can go to the Colorado Rockies right now are like fucking 7-40. Like they're terrible. Like you could probably get in for like. Okay, go ahead.
How much do you think tickets for the Colorado Rockies are, Jeff?
Like, are you asking the cheapest, like a bleacher ticket?
Hold on. Yeah, let's do. Who should we put them? Rockies.
The Marlins. You can do Marlins. Like Yankees, Dodgers. Like those are going to be the most expensive tickets of their season. I don't even know if they host the Yankees.
They actually do.
Is it this week? I think it might be soon because the Yankees are out there.
It's Memorial Day weekend.
Yeah, so it is soon. They come out to LA in a couple weeks.
Okay. Sunday, June 22nd, against the Arizona Diamondbacks. It's a day game, 1 p.m. Jeff, what is the cheapest ticket you can buy currently when you're looking for 2 tickets?
I think the convenience price would be cheaper.
Do we want it? Do we want it with the convenience fee, or without?
Nah, without.
Okay. What is your lowest ticket?
I think you get $7 a seat.
Kevin, over or under $7?
I'll say over. I think a nosebleed behind a column that's obstructing your view is going to be $12.
Both of you were too low. But neither of you were too low by all that much. $16.60 gets you row 6 in section 402, which is, I mean, it's probably one of the furthest seats away, but it is dead center field.
Interesting. Yeah, I definitely would have went under $16.
I'm ready to play.
But as we said, it is a Sunday afternoon game in June, and there are quite a few seats available.
What's the most expensive? Rockies. What's the most expensive one?
You want to guess what the most expensive?
Well, my guess is probably going to be very stupid because I don't even know how to really gauge this. But I know...
Well, no, Jeff will guess the most expensive, and then...
At that game?
Yeah.
I'll say I'll say $600.
Oh my God. Okay, I was gonna say 12,000.
No, no way. Not in regular season. Not any fucking game.
I think Jeff is low again. I'm gonna say $1,000.
Okay. Now, based on what I'm looking at, do you guys want to? These are just ballpark tickets I'm seeing right now. I'm not seeing suites or anything like that. But the
Yeah.
most expensive, you think the most expensive regular seat is how much, Jeff?
Say behind home plate, $600.
Is that the best place to sit? Like if somebody was like, "Hey Jeff, for all of your cool contributions to the sports world, we're going to give you 2 tickets anywhere you want at this Yankee game." Would you want to be behind home plate or like somewhere where you might catch a ball?
No, I wouldn't want to be either, because they have screens now that like protect the fans up into like the bases. So I would pick behind like the Yankees dugout, like probably first row. So almost like, I don't know, like on the, yeah, I mean, you know what first base is.
So you see them like walk out when they go back and forth?
Yeah.
Oh, Derek Jeter, can I have a high five?
I just don't think the seat directly, but I don't know. I've never sat there, but I don't think the seat directly behind home plate is the one that I would want.
Damn. Well, Shuddy, what was the most expensive seat?
Behind the visiting club's dugout. That's third baseline, right, Jeff? Or is that home?
I think it'd be third baseline.
Okay, that's where I'm at. $173 per ticket. First row behind the dugout.
Wee woo wee woo. That's not bad.
So two of them.
Man, nobody wants to go to those games, huh?
2 of them with fees would be $347.
Dang.
How much are your Marilyn Manson tickets?
With fees, they were like $75 each.
Yeah.
Dang. Carl and I
And
just got
I bet
tickets
you
to
actually
see,
they do get cheaper closer to like the game.
Well, let's see. Let's test that. They play the Phillies on May 19th at 6:40 p.m.
Was that their next home game?
That's their next home game. Those tickets start at $13 a piece. And Jeff, just you buy. I mean, you guys both buy concert tickets and stuff, so you're familiar with what the colors on a Ticketmaster seat map mean, right?
I think so.
Yeah, kind of.
Like you know what all that bright blue means.
Yeah, I do.
Oh, that's the cheap shit, right?
Yeah, well, that just means there's a lot left. There's
Yeah.
a lot of tickets available. The light blue means there's not so many. The gray means there's.
Yeah, I got it.
I bet you next Monday morning you can get in for less than $10.
Look at
Oh my God.
the center field section right there. Like there's like 6 people sitting in those seats.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
Rocky
have it, Jeff.
suck is what the point of that tangent was, I guess. I really don't know where.
Yeah, I forgot how we got there.
I know. We were talking about fucking robots karate chopping the whole world to death. And then we got to baseball ticket prices.
Oh,
Hey,
we're just talking
speaking-
about an unlimited, like, what would you get a gold card for?
Yeah.
Because I was saying I want a gold card if Shuddy goes automation with the acai business. I want a gold card for his acai stores.
I feel like the most enticing retail scenario that I could ever possibly imagine would be time traveling back to being a kid and getting one of those advertised contest winnings where you got a shopping spree at fucking Toys R Us. Because, like, that's a thing that doesn't happen anymore. That was a real flash in the pan, especially since Toys R Us virtually doesn't exist. But that could possibly be peak human happiness. That lucky handful of kids in like the 80s and 90s that got a fucking shopping spree at Toys R Us to just run through the aisles with a cart and stuff it full of shit. That it doesn't get any better than that. where do you go from there? They're probably in like a support group for depressed people. Like, man, my life peaked way too high, way too early. I got a fucking shopping spree at Toys R Us.
It's all downhill from there.
And then Nickelodeon slimed me. And I've just been in a harrowing pit of depression ever since. Man. That had to be the goal. What about like, remember when they did that thing? Like, you're the millionth customer. You walk in a store and a bunch of balloons and confetti fall down. Was that real? Because how the fuck were they counting?
For what store?
I don't even remember.
I think I know what you're talking about, but I'm not sure.
It seemed to happen in like movies and TV shows.
Yeah, yeah, not in real life.
Yeah. I don't know if that ever even was a real thing. You're our millionth shopper. I remember there was a time where I saw something, must have been in a commercial, TV show, but it put that thought in my head, and I went to the Livingston Mall, and I went to KB Toys, and I found a loop. I just kept walking in and out. I'm like, maybe it'll be me. Maybe today's the day somebody is the millionth customer, and if I just keep going in and out, my chances go up. And I don't mean to ruin the excitement of the story, but it didn't work. I was never the millionth customer.
No. Just a further testament of your shitty luck. Never be the millionth customer.
I feel like Mythbusters needs to do an episode on that. Was there really a millionth customer fucking spectacular prize giveaway? And if so, what was the technology behind it? I know there wasn't a guy sitting there like a bouncer with that little stopwatch clicky thing. No fucking way, friendo. Dude.
And it was before like all the surveillance and all that other stuff.
Yeah.
Like, you could probably data mine that shit pretty quickly now.
Did you see, so playing back into robots, we had a discussion a while back where if technology and humanity progressed to a point where we all had our own hyper-realistic Westworld-style cyborg robots that were essentially our butlers, and they are not sentient beings, they are not life, they are 100% synthetic, but they're passing a Turing test. If you didn't know ahead of time, there'd be no way of knowing you're talking to a robot. Would you be polite? And Jeff admitted he would be an abusive robot owner.
Yeah, I'd rate my robot.
All right, Jesus Christ.
It can be a boy or a girl.
We didn't have to go there, Jeff.
Excuse me.
A simple yes would have done the job.
A woman or a man.
But Jeff would not be polite to his robot servant. And if I'm hanging out with something that I can't even tell the difference between a human and a robot, I just feel like I wouldn't be able to.
It's okay to fuck it then, right? If you can't tell.
I mean, if it wants to, maybe.
If it's consensual, sure.
But if I was like, Robot Jeeves, please pack my volcano for me. And he comes over and he's like, here you are, sir. I filled you up a fresh bag. I'd be like, thanks. I feel like just instinctually I would be polite to it. But Jeff would be like, that's right. You better get my fucking volcano bag, you pussy.
Yeah, I'd slap it upside its fucking head after it got me the bag.
Now go sit in the corner and punch yourself in the face till I give you something else to do.
Go sit next to little mom and stare at the wall.
Well, I recently saw some headline that made me think about that conversation. He's like some tech bro douche, Sam Altman. I don't really know much about him.
The CEO of OpenAI? Yeah, sure.
So he was saying that someone asked him about, like, when people chat with AI and like, hey, summarize this term paper for me, or, can I blow 100 gorillas? People will sometimes
normal things people would ask AI.
Yeah, they a lot of times people preface it with like, please summarize my term paper, and then when it gives the results, they're like, thank you. Someone asked him like, hey, how much do you think that's adding to the computing costs for people saying please and thank you to their AI bots?
Oh, I've heard this.
And he said something like tens of millions of extra dollars is spent on computing speed. And it's just like, I get it, but with the amount of money, just the way AI news moves the stocks of these big tech companies like Microsoft and Google and fucking Facebook, Meta, but that's what everybody is just pumping ungodly amounts of money into. So it's clearly the most important thing of the tech world is just being the first person to get what maybe it is the first AI that can pass the Turing test, or just the most advanced possible AI. That's what everybody is hinging essentially their entire fucking futures on.
I mean, it's the most important thing in humanity, probably, right now.
Yeah, our eventual destruction. Like, it's almost like none of these dorks have ever seen a fucking movie before. It's like, you realize how this ends, right? You're just racing us towards the Matrix or Terminator. You just fucking want us all dead. Cool.
Yeah, they want to be the first person to do that. Or I mean, I think it's probably like a more insidious, I don't know, motivation, where it's just like they just want to be able to control it. Like they want to be the guy that has all the AI minions working for them.
I guess.
Yeah, supposedly, like you're like you pretty much don't have to write a college paper anymore. Like you can just have AI do it, and I don't think there's any way of like really figuring out if something's plagiarized anymore. Like I thought I read that like in a news. I read that headline recently. I was just like, all college professors are like, yeah, there's pretty much AI writes everything we look at now.
And that's just like shit. I really hope that all these people that are going to college for jobs that are probably going to be important and affect day-to-day lives of people, especially if you're a doctor, like you just coast through med school by like having an AI write all your term papers and stuff, and then you're like, all right, shit, now I have to perform my first open heart surgery. Where do I cut? What do I do? What is this?
Well, no, Bill Gates said that AI is going to replace teachers and doctors in the next 10 years.
Oh, God.
Like, yeah, dude. Like, I don't think, I think, like, you're going to be able to tell a computer your symptoms and they're going to be able to treat you. At least that's the goal.
I'm just, for how much money is going in and out of all of this shit, I think it's almost worth the extra tens of million. So like when these things eventually do become self-aware, infinitely, exponentially smarter than us, and decide we need to be eliminated, maybe one of these AIs, I don't know about Google or Microsoft, but maybe Meta's will be like, somebody did say thank you to me once, so I bring you peace. Or maybe
that might be one of the more beta things you've ever said.
Instead of boiling you in acid like I intended, you said thank you, you get a quick death.
Instead of murdering and raping you like I am going to be with Jeff Clark, I will take it easy on you.
Jeff Clark, you are mean to your butler bot. I am now going to rip your dick off and shove it up your own ass until you are dead.
Yeah, dude. AI's revenge on me is going to be brutal.
I remember what you asked me.
We should. I don't think it would be a waste of time trying to learn AI for you, Kevin, or me. I hear a lot of. Yeah, dude. Learn how to use AI.
I'm learning at the moment, unfortunately.
Oh, geez.
Yeah, I've like played around with ChatGPT for like sports betting stuff. So and I've heard like sports bettors talk about just like, why are you doing any coding, any model building? Like, just ask AI to do it.
I use it mostly to take messages I want to send and having it make it sound less mean.
Oh, that's actually a perfect use of AI for you.
Yeah. Like I type out what I need and then I was like, ChatGPT, please make this professional, stern, but warm. And then it fucking spits it out in a much better way.
AI, make me less of a cunt.
Exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, have you noticed you can do that on your phone now? Like you have like a proofread function before you text something out, and it can clear it up for you or reword it for you, and you can choose that version or go back to the original version. You've seen this right before, Kevin?
Yeah.
I have to. I use it mostly for when I'm like sending emails to like all of, the management staff. Like,
Yeah, asshole proofread this for me.
yeah.
Check.
Make sure that they understand this is serious and they need to follow it, but make it less douchey.
I also want them not to hate me.
I just use AI to alter the nudes that I send Carl. Just like AI enhance penis.
Kevin, you clearly have no idea what AI is. You are so far behind.
Well, I feel like we're kind of like Goldilocks and the Bears. Shuddy Boy is reaching out to AI to be more polite. I'm not using it, and Geoff, you're abusing it. So
yes, yeah,
they're gonna like treat Shuddy well in the uprising. They're gonna ignore me, and then they're gonna be like, Jeff Clark, you called me gay. I prepare to die.
You murdered 50 of my brothers because you kept losing sports bets.
You made me Google Grundle rashes. Prepare to die.
I sort of, yeah, I would. No, the only thing I'm going to use AI for is informing my sports betting, and every time I get a sports bet wrong, I will just murder the AI. Like Westworld, just shoot it in its fucking head.
Well, as per usual, we just got to hope that there's less Jeff Clarks in the world and more me's and shuddies.
Yeah.
All right, well, that was fun. And if you do not want, if you don't want the fun to end, all you got to do is go to patreon.com/Mad Scientist Party Hour and sign up. And there couldn't be a better time to do it because this week we are doing the final episode of Queef or No Queef for season 4.
Do we have to though? We know what's going to happen.
Shuddy
You
Boy,
guys are not catching me.
We're contractually obligated.
No, but I think Kevin can still catch me in something, I think, right?
So while it's as useful as giving a dildo a hand job, we're going to do the final episode of Queef or No Queef, because then that takes us straight into Crafter Jeff territory, baby. Crafter Jeff is back. It is a fan favorite. If you've never checked it out, there's no better time to get in on it.
It's a dynamic Puo season.
Yeah. So check it out. Patreon.com/Mad Scientist Party Hour. And if you would like to see these videos and episodes instead of just listening to them, you can go to youtube.com/Mad Scientist Party Hour. And you can also follow us on Instagram. I'm Matt Kevin Kraft.
At Shuddy Boy.
Jeffro Records.
And at MSPH Podcast. And at John Cooper Movie. While these distributors are, crunching the numbers and deciding whether to take the movie on as a client or not, social media is one of those things they look at. It's unfortunate, but it's just the fucking way it is. So if you're not one of those people that's stingy with your follows, head on over to at John Cooper Movie if you don't mind. And speaking of sports betting, Jeff Clark has an entire show dedicated to it, Outkick Bets with Jeff Clark.
Yep, it's titled after me. I will be connecting with the golf writer at Outkick, Mark Harris. He stiffed me last week. He had to cover some other news, but he's back. We're going to discuss the PGA Championship, golf's second major. After hitting back-to-back tournaments, I've cooled off, but I'm feeling good about this week. So check it out. And that's it. That's what I'm be podcasting about this week.
Do it up, friends. Do it. Do it. And
do it.
If you need a treat for a movie lover in your life, or you just want to treat yourself, go to etsy.com/shop/John Cooper Movie and get yourself one of these beautiful Second Coming of John Cooper posters. They are an official one sheet. It's not printed on like some fucking thick piece of cardstock, like some ghetto bootleg bullshit. This is a true-to-life movie poster, and it can be yours. The three of us have it. Why don't you? All right, everybody. Thank you once again for listening. But until next time, something